I must say that the dossier that Chiwenga presented to Emerson Mnangagwa in Politburo is finally out. Okay, few eyes saw it, but yeah, the information is out here. We're going to be having a discussion on it. Also, I must just letting you know that Jonathan Moyo, even though he's in exile, I think how many problems can you face? He is facing treason for drafting a document that allows Mnangagwa to run the country beyond 2030, actually to 2035. Very shocking developments. Chamisa, on the other hand, he thinks that we are on our way to 2017. But so many backlash on social media. People attacking him that, you're not serious. We want to move forward. We're going to discuss that as well. Stick around, guys, as we're having a great time. It's a great evening to everyone. Guys, I must also say to you that for those that may just join me for the first time, you are welcome. But to my regulars, I can see a number that are joining me right now. Guys, please don't forget to thumbs up the video as we move along. It's important. And also share with others in your groups because the information is moving. Shokorigu Famba, so I'm excited because we are heading towards the most exciting time of our life. Geza is breathing fire online. I must say he's breathing fire online. Okay. He's now releasing all the information in detail of who was involved in what kind of corruption, what did they contribute, how much money was stolen. We talk of billions and billions and billions of dollars, millions with some of the people that actually stole, I would say, little. They're in millions of dollars. It's shocking. The level of wickedness that is going down in Zim is astounding. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Anyway, so Ali feels like it's only one thing that will unite us is pain right now. The only reason we are all, most of us are supporting Geza. I can't say all because I don't know somewhere where you stand, but I know majority are backing up Geza. Literally, I saw a tweet that was sent out by Tavani Mpofu, the advocate, that the advocate that you know in town. Yes, he said, I'm in. I'll stand with Geza. I'll support Geza. Many people are saying we are going to be out there on the streets to push for Mnangagwa to vacate the state house. Anyway, so pain will unite us. Ali said pain shall eventually unite Zimbabweans. Pain inflicted by the government and its policies. It doesn't matter where you are, pain will visit us. We will not spare anyone until we drop our selfishness and our self-serving behavior. At the moment, it's each man for himself, but that will come to pass as more sorrow, more pain, more loss of jobs, loss of properties, mainly due to political persecution, no savings, company shutdowns appear in the horizon. It is pain that will eventually unite us for purpose and change our circumstances. No pain, no gain. Even childbirth, before it is celebrated, is preceded by pain. We have to move many of us out of the comfort zones for change to happen. 2 weeks out of this comfort zone for 37 years, Mnangagwa turned again against Mugabe, and the rest is history. Don't pay attention to those selling you prosperity politics. You are in self-preservation because they sold the struggle. I don't know who sold the struggle that is referring to, but the bottom line is that he's saying, guys, at this juncture, we should never worry about politicians. I'm not worried about politicians. I'm worried about my life and my destiny. Guys, I lost 2 of my family members. I was almost being abducted. People are planning to abduct me. I must tell you that. Hello. So this is the fight that I'm fighting for. So all the other things don't even matter at all. My destiny and my future. We have children that we are raising. I mean, seeing kids being drugged. This is the reason why I'm here. Mothers going to bed on empty stomach is the reason why I'm sitting here. I don't care who says what, but I want a Zimbabwe that works for everybody across the country. Anyway, we are having a pandemic in Zimbabwe. Chinese. Today, they again have shot one of our brother and injured the other. Like, guys, live. I mean, guys, in the camera. Guys, when are we going to allow this kind of nonsense? Honestly, I'm tired of Emerson Mnangagwa and his Chinese gangsters. I'm tired. I'm really tired. We are losing our lands. There's violence every time. We spoke about that 2 days ago again. Another guy was killed. Today, as I'm speaking, they did kill another guy. It's Zimbabwean guy. Where are these guys getting guns from? Why would the Chinese have such kind of, luxury in our country? I'm not saying I have a problem with investors, but I do have a problem with gangs. It is a sad story. I think, but this is why Geza is saying, let's go out and defend our future. Otherwise, forget it. You and I, especially the people in the diaspora, one day you will land in Zimbabwe and realize that you no longer have a house. If you're building your house, they will take your house. Okay? This regime of Mnangagwa will take your house. You know, parents are being kicked out of their ancestral lands. What about you? You'll find out that your parents are now on the streets. We need to do away with Mnangagwa yesterday. So much money has been looted. Geza released most of the information, 800 million to 1.2 billion of public funds in opaque good deals. Saupanya should be in jail. He was assisted by John Mangundla, Mutuli Ngube, George Guamatanga, Chris Muchangwa, and so on. They should be in jail, not to corruption. And the information is on social media. I'm going to drop it in the comment section as well. He went on to speak about, we demand the arrest of Tagwire. His assets must be frozen. He stole 1.9 billion of public funds through Kuvimba. They should have arrested him by now. Okay, and that also should have transformed our hospitals and the dignity of our people. It's very sad. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. He shared the letter that he sent to Emmerson Mnangagwa from citizens. And some of the information, like I said, it's on social media, but I'm going to share the link so that you guys can have access to them. Nehemiah said, everyone wants Mnangagwa gone. Jana Geza, Atovao Mased shows it. And he's referring to people who are saying, oh, but the Geza thing is just a ZANU-PF stuff. Guys, Mnangagwa is using this mantra to starve you of a better future. Do not allow him. We are not going to allow Emmerson Mnangagwa to play his dirty games with our minds. This has nothing to do with Geza or whosoever. We want a functional country, and he is not the one who can provide it. In other words, we are now deciding to have a different leader. It's as simple as that. So whether Pachata Chimuti or anyone, the bottom line is that Mnangagwa needs to be sent packing. Anyway, Mnangagwa is actually on his way out. I'm just saying all the other story that is coming out here is just a waste of time. So Chiwenga's dossier is out here, but I think what's shocking is that Jonathan Moyo is being accused. I'm shocked. He's being accused. I'm going to read some of the information that was released by the Newsworks. That in a leaked confidential document presented to Mnangagwa and the ruling ZANU-PF Presidium, the top 5 and the party's decision-making Politburo on the 17th of September at 2 separate meetings on the same day in Harare, Chiwenga accuses Jonathan Moyo of treason for writing a document called Breaking Barriers Initiative, putting Zimbabwe first, which he says seeks to change the political system and postpone the 2020 elections to 2035. The document, also seen by the Newsworks, which has always been on top of its big political stories in the country, says its objective under the auspices of the Parliament of Zimbabwe is to identify and break chronic toxic barriers to efficient and effective service delivery, infrastructural development, and socio-economic progress in Zimbabwe, primarily caused by the scars of perennial disputed elections and the resultant scourge of toxic governments and policy environment in between the disputed elections. So this is what Mnangagwa does. That is very shocking and sad. Is he knows exactly your complaints and he uses that against you. Okay, we have spoken about the issue of elections that yield nothing in the country. He's now using that and gaslight against citizens. They said, no, because now we're having a problem of always having elections. Let me stay. Okay, during the day we heard that he says, I had a problem during the time of the pandemic, which I was not able to exercise my duties. So give me more time in the office. And then Jonathan Moyo is writing a letter, and that seek to promote Mnangagwa to stay in power beyond 2030 to 2035. That's how much they are disrespecting the people of Zimbabwe. Is Mnangagwa does as he pleases. You know why? Because he wants to turn Zimbabwe into a kingdom so that his kids are not answerable to anyone for the crimes they've committed and the stealing of all the monies in the country. His grandchildren will live a lavish lifestyle like what's going on in Eswatini. That Eswatini president can even take criminals from America for millions and millions of US dollars. It's all about his lavish lifestyles while citizens are languishing in poverty. Just imagine wake up in the morning and having a dynasty, or talk about a kingdom that Mnangagwa is now calling himself a Mutapa kingdom. He has stolen Mutapa's name, which I don't even know where the hell what he's talking about, because he does not even know who these people are. But he thinks he can play his dirty game and walks away with anything that he wants. That's why this time is so imperative that we all come together and say enough with the dirty games of Mnangagwa. We are better than this. On principle, we can birth a new Zimbabwe. That's what I believe in. I know some people take it lightly. It's not an issue. ZANU-PF fights. No, Mnangagwa is pushing that narrative so that you guys sit back while you're being abused. It doesn't work. So further details on the very same issue of the dossier is that the Vice President Chiwenga, who was Zimbabwe's Defense Force commander in 2017 when the military ousted the late former President Robert Mugabe from power, he has for the first time admitted the dramatic event was a coup. His recent presentation to the ZANU-PF Presidium and Politburo shows in his confidential document to the ZANU-PF Top 5, the Politburo on the 17th, the news works have seen it. Chiwenga said, Comrade President, we undertook Operation Restore Legacy with a scared mandate to reclaim our nation from the jaws of corruption and to restore the dignity, prosperity, and sovereignty of Zimbabwe for its people. Comrade President, in November 2017, we took a bold and necessary step to remove former President Robert Mugabe from power because he sought to manipulate our constitution for personal gain. He allowed certain individuals and family to seize his executive authority and abuse it. He ignored the suffering of the people while a corrupt elite looted with impunity. He turned ZANU-PF into a personal fiefdom, disregarding its founding values. During November 2017, we risked everything, our lives, our freedom, our futures, to restore and defend our legacy, the party, and constitution. Chiwenga's admission marks a huge step in correcting a major historical event, what actually happened in November 14, 15, 2017. For the record and posterity, after staging the punch, the army insisted publicly that its actions did not constitute a coup, but it was merely a military-assisted transition. The military rationale was that it was targeting criminals around Mugabe, not staging a takeover of the government itself. Announcing the coup, the late Moyo, one of the commanders, even said the president was not even removed and was safe and sound. Chiwenga now admits in writing that the army took action to remove Mugabe, which was undeniably a coup. This initial army position was widely contracted by some few media organizations on the ground, especially Zimbabwe Independent and The Standard, which reported on that without fear or favor. Observers and actual events that unfolded military actions in November. The Zimbabwe Defense Force deployed tanks and personal armed carriers in the capital of Harare, seized control of the state broadcaster, barricaded, placed Mugabe's office, and put him under house arrest at his blue roof Bordeaux mansion. The army occupied the streets and positions around airport in Harare. I think I'm not really concerned about whether the army occupied the state and scored a coup or the army acted against the constitution of Zimbabwe. I'm really not interested in that. I'm more concerned about an individual who left his house. Mnangagwa was a bricklayer in Zambia, and then he became a briefcase career in Mozambique. This man here now, he wakes up and becomes the president of Zimbabwe. As a Mnangagwa guy, now he seeks one to control the whole country. He wants to do as he pleases and disregarding every Zimbabwean, and he should reign supreme. I'm concerned with that. I've noticed that there are so many laws that we are sitting with that are very oppressive. And these laws, as much as I know they were adapted from the Smith regime, but they are very much abusive. Why are we sitting here with Emmerson Mnangagwa in the office? Who don't even know what he's doing, first and foremost. He actually don't understand what leadership is. The guy is very deceptive. He is corrupt. He is abusive. He treats citizens not the way that he can treat his children. His children are gods of Zimbabwe. I don't subscribe to that notion. So I genuinely believe that we need to have a completely different way of running our politics. I agree with what Geza is saying. I agree with what they are trying to achieve, to at least have a different way of running the country. Let us mute elections for some time. Zimbabwe is to have a breather. Let us have a breather and have a new start, because, guys, too much of pain, abuse, it's a lot. It's a lot. But Chamisa is out here and he's really being attacked by people on social media. He wrote a statement today. I don't know if you guys have had access to it, but I'm going to read. He said, a lasting solution for Zimbabwe. A lasting solution starts with truth. Ignoring the 2023 stolen election is ignoring the root of our crisis. Anything that does not address the 2023 election is a fraud and a waste of time. Corruption, capture, suffering, they are symptoms of a disputed mandate and a contested government. Let's treat the cause, not the symptoms. We are the solution. Let's fix what's killing us. So what I'm going to say at this juncture, I'm going to disagree with Chamisa, and I'll tell you why I disagree with him. The problem that we have in Zimbabwe is not elections. It's not elections. The problem we have in Zimbabwe is a criminal syndicate that has been operating for decades that we need to unseat and to put behind bars. You can have elections all you want, I can guarantee you, and you will never resolve the problems in Zimbabwe, because they will never. There's no way a criminal would say, okay, I'm going to hand it over power, arrest me, take me to prison. It's not possible. Look at what's going on in South Africa today. I do understand that Chamisa is speaking from a politician point of view. I'm not seeking political office. So I'm not sitting and I'll say our problem is politics. It's not politics. We keep on repeating the same mistake. Until we have a culture that puts citizens first, we're always going to have problems. And the culture that puts citizens first is not going to be perpetuated by elections. It's actually going to be perpetuated by the way that we see the world. Because we can have a Chamisa tomorrow. There's no guarantee that Chamisa is going to come in and respect the people. We don't know which. It's an assumption. Until he's in the position, he's actually applying what he says. Because politicians are good at talking a good game. And I'm not saying he's not going to do it, but I disagree with the fact that he thinks we can sit here and watch Mnangagwa playing with the destiny, and maybe then you allow us to have elections when you want to. Do you really think Emerson Mnangagwa will allow a free and fair election in the country? Let's be honest. Do you think he can? When he is the man behind all the misery that is in Zimbabwe, from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, in 2008, Mugabe wanted to walk away. And then Mnangagwa is the one who said, nope, he's not going anywhere. He must remain there. And there was fight and people were killed. Some were hurt. Is there so many who think you can wake up tomorrow and say, no, let's have a free and fair election in Chamisa? Oh, you have won. Now you can take over the reins. It's not possible. This is one of the reasons why Mnangagwa needs to go right now. And my advice has always been, and to stand by what I believe in. Let's allow Mnangagwa to go, and we must have our conditions, and they have to be met. People should not leave the streets. These conditions must be met. But to say, let's sit here and wait for Mnangagwa to allow us elections when he wants to turn Zimbabwe into a kingdom, for me, it's foolishness, because it will never happen. But let me read some of people's reactions. Brian said, you need to call for your followers to participate in the march. 1 million march that is coming on Friday, you guys know. And he said 2017 taught us a big lesson. That's when things really went wild. Some people said, exactly, you were in the shadows. Now that a protest has been called, you appear from nowhere. And to discourage all those who might go into the streets to demonstrate against corruption. Of course, you don't see it, and it's none of your business. If there's corruption or not, you're doing exactly what you were paid to do. I don't know about the payment thing. I wasn't there. Someone said, thank you for saying this. Once bitten, twice shy, Zimbos must refuse to be used by ZANU-PF of the coup. And I'll tell you, this is a ghost account. It's actually Mnangagwa's people, because they love it. When you say you must not confront Mnangagwa, oh yes, they support it. Right now, they are busy cheering Mnangagwa. Chamisa, yes, you're right. There should never be elections. There should never be no confrontation. Let's wait for elections. And Mnangagwa wants 2030, and he wants 2035. So that he can put his child there. Zimbabweans, we are better than this. We don't have to play dirty games. I've always been saying, on principle, we don't have to keep him Mnangagwa. I don't care what you're thinking. He has failed the people. Why would we keep him there? Just for him to allow us to have elections when he wants to? Okay, you're saying 2028, do we have reforms? We don't have no reforms in place. If there can be elections in 2028, you think you're going to say Chamisa move and get into the state house? Oh, yeah, the keys. Absolutely not. And Alice saying in the interim, those who are stealing should be continued unabated. I agree. So criminals must just keep stealing while we are waiting for elections. That's why I respect the South Africans so much. Because right now they are fighting criminal syndicates. What we failed to do in the 80s and the 90s, they are busy playing the part. I've never heard them say, no, we want EFF to get in. Oh, no, but we want someone else to get in, a different political player. No, criminals must be behind bars. Chiwenga is coming out and say criminals need to go to prison. We must support him. Criminals has to be jailed up. They have to be jailed up so that we can all now talk about what's the way forward. Guys, do you actually see what's happening in the country right now? People playing with man right in front of your eyes, treating you like nothing. Men are now slay kinging for survival, worshipping their oppressor. You really can't tell me I'm going to sit here and allow Mnangagwa to do as he pleases. Absolutely not. Mnangagwa must be sent packing. We will make sure our demands are met. And again, Zimbabweans, don't put politicians at the front. Politicians should never be on the front. You need to be on the front. Politicians need to understand that we are not living for them. Okay? Because the politicians come and they go. What about you as a person, and your needs and your wants should be your priority? I must say this. I just heard speculation that Chamisa went to school, meaning he's moving on with his life. So whether there's a woman who hasn't eaten dinner tonight, that has nothing to do with him. He's moving on with his life. I don't know if that's true or not, but my point is, he's leaving. Mnangagwa, as we speak, he's stealing all the money. He's stealing almost everything for his children and grandchildren, grandchildren. Meaning, people don't care about how you feel. It's like if you find your children burning, you're not going to wait for firefighters to come through. You get in to pull out your child. It's time for us to put ourselves first than to be more stuck with what politicians want. These are my take. But at the end of the day, you tell me what you think in the comment section. But I don't think it's wisdom to sit and wait for Mnangagwa to destroy Zimbabwe because you want to wait for an election, hoping that he will allow you to have an election. Forget it. Like I said, these are my thoughts and these are my views. You're more than welcome to share yours, and you still have the right to choose. If you don't want to go to the streets, stay home. If you want to go to the streets, go ahead. But as far as I'm concerned, I will stand and defend the future for my generation and children. I can never be under the leadership of Mnangagwa. Never in my lifetime. I've said it and I repeat, I can never function around a dishonest person, deceptive man like Mnangagwa, a greedy man like him, a liar and a thief. I can't. That's me. I like proper leadership. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So if you want, stay there and wait. Some people, Nehemiah said, this is the only route, young man, but checks and balances in place. Without this, we can forget Zema elections. Someone said, my leader, so you are saying ED moves on to stop elections until 2035. And I really said, in my humble opinion, and with all due respect, Chamisa Ngambo Mira Zwariguites, it's good for everyone to see Mnangagwa gone. Same it was from Gabe. To Stangira Papo. Kana Chiwenga akagadzira zvigananda zvinyowani tinenge tichiona zviripo tinenge tichiona zviripo zvigananda hazvisi kuita. So tinenge tichiona zviripo zvigananda hazvisi kuita. Please bless me. Yeah, I struggle sometimes to reach you. No, I can reach you, but yeah, bless me. That's all I can say. Okay. So some people think there's been a lot of backlash though. Yeah. People don't want to hear about elections. They actually don't want to hear. And I completely agree with them. I don't want to hear about elections. With no reforms, no, thanks. As some are saying, going to study, they're just rumors. That's why I said I just heard. I don't know how true that is. Maybe it's not true. Maybe it is true. Whether he went to study or is not. Many years ago, the right to do whatever he wants in his life. You can't be waiting for who. He must just do whatever he feels works for him. Like any other Zimbabwean should do. I mean, we should just learn to let people be, and we should also be. And I think that's one of the reasons why there's a backlash, because first of all, don't forget that Chamisa is the same person who came out and say, I never spoke to Geza. Do you recall that? He said he never spoke to Geza. And he also came out and said he's open to have a proper dialogue, right? So now when Geza calls out for mass protests, he's not coming out again and said, no, we are being pushed to 2017. So I'm finding that to be a bit weird, because first and foremost, you said you were not part of this, right? And they respected you. Now you are coming back whenever, I find this really, really strange, with all due respect, because why? Why? You said you did not talk to them, right? And you said, but I'm open for dialogue. So how is that dialogue going to happen? Because you have written so many letters to Mnangagwa, he ignored you because he doesn't want a dialogue. So what dialogue are you looking for? I don't get it. You want dialogue with Mnangagwa. He ignored you how many times? So now, Geza, they're trying to do whatever they're doing. And you are stopping them again. So what plan do we have in place to move the country forward? This is what the problem is. People are asking questions. What can we do, sir? Honestly, it's just weird. It is weird. If I say I don't want to be part of something, and then people are doing whatever they're doing, then I want to go there and disturb again, then I'm like, what is it? What is it? Honestly, like, let them be. Let them fare whatever they're doing, let them be, because you said you want to be part of it. Respectively so, they left you. Guys, you must never forget that we are dealing with Geza is in his 70s. Okay. Right. He's a father. I'm telling you this. They may not be perfect, but he's a father who is doing everything in his power to make sure Zimbabwe become a better place for you and pass the baton. So what you're doing is you are refusing the council and the leadership. I do not think there will ever be a Zimbabwe where young people can say we've got all the solutions, but the fathers are not important. I don't agree with that. I may be very smart. No matter how smart I am, my parents or my fathers are always important in my life, and I put them first. You see, our problem is we think we've got all the answers. But trust me, if you want to see that these people know their business, is look how they're toppling Mnangagwa. They know their game more than what you can ever imagine. So you can't sit there and say, no, but it's not important. No, it is important. Because these people are holding a checkmate in their closing, and the Mnangagwa is going to be shipped out. And I can guarantee you that will be the shameful of our lifetime. Mnangagwa is going to be so humiliated. And they know their game, and you're coming, and I just don't get it. And I know, like I said, I know the opposition have always been winning elections, and this very same Mnangagwa was behind to say no, because he wanted to be at the front. Who doing people play all the dirty games and find himself in the office as a president? Or fair play, but now he doesn't want to leave. You want to create a kingdom. That was his mission, to turn Zimbabwe to be his own handbag. Because he got away with a lot. But he'll allow these people to arrest criminals and see what's going to happen. It's going to rain on him big time. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section. I stand by my views. I think Mnangagwa needs to be sent packing. But anyone who think, okay, I would like to see your comments anyway. So I'm seeing different champions. It's not different from Chiwenga, whatever. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't honestly, like, I'm not anyone. I just give you my views. Anyone's enemy, but I genuinely think this is really weird. It's weird. Considering that you have said, I don't want to be part of something, then you wake up again, you said, guys, there's a lot of nonsense going on in this country, honestly. Some of us, we are not seeking political offices. We simply want to have a better country. We have a lot to achieve. We have dreams. We have families to love. We have people to live with. We are sick and tired of toxicity. We just want a functional country. And I think there are so many Zimbabweans who have been silenced for decades who just want a functional country. Give them a platform to live. My games anyway, my dirty games, and we are tired. We just want to live. That's all that we want. If John can get in there and make sure the right thing is done, so be it. Okay. So be it. We can't all be fighting for a lost cause. We might as well have our. For me, I don't know why it's so difficult. Let's just have our demands, in writing. I genuinely believe that people who are going to be at the front here, I'm sure I'm sure we are going to be into this fight. They may have their conditions to say we want this and that to be met. That is wisdom. But sitting back and watch, it's going to be very costly, unfortunately. But in me, I've told you, until Mnangagwa goes out of the office, I'm going to be sitting here and calling me out day in, day out. So again, you tell me what you think in the comment section. Be nice. And I thank you so much for your comments that are really, really very much loving. I appreciate them deeply. No one is rude. I'm sure no about Akashis, but I told you they were planning to abduct me. Do you even know who you are dealing with? Okay, I'm not those funny people. I'm not those funny people. So just to send you so that you know. Okay, so you don't really. I'm not the type of person that you can abduct. You can abduct yourself. Okay, yourself. I'm not afraid of y'all. I'm not. Okay. In fact, I've told you when I started here that guys, if you try me, you're gonna die. Big time. You're gonna die. Don't try it. Because I also have my people who know the people, and we know every move that you guys are making, because you know every move that you make. So abducting me will never work actually. Okay. I'll be drinking coffee, laughing, and at these fools. One day you're going to thank me. I know one day you will thank me. Mm-hmm. That at least I help you to come out of this mess. One day you'll be grateful that at least we managed to stand up and speak, because this Zimbabwe is going to be beautiful, y'all. So please be nice. Don't try me. It will come at a cost. You'll die. I swear you will die. I love you guys. Bless you and bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.